Hi everyone, Oksana here. Just want to make sure that my audio is good, and I'm gonna record a quick class for you what feeds cancer cells, and that's some things that are gonna surprise you. Some of the things that you're consuming right now that you think are good for you are actually feeding cancer cells. And again, this presentation is for somebody who not only wants to stop the progression of cancer, but also if you deal with cancer, you have to think about what else you can do to optimize your immune system to help you fight cancer cells. And one of the things that we do is we are known for helping people rapidly reverse chronic diseases, but as well as improve their symptoms, such as hair loss, joint pain, fatigue, and all types of autoimmune diseases. And at this point, we worked with hundreds of people globally, and we are known for helping people get results within 40 days. And every single thing that you've seen us publish, whether it's on a YouTube channel or Facebook page, those are the clients that worked with us directly one-on-one every single day for several weeks. So we've documented their progress, we help them make adjustments and guide them through the recovery process to personalize it for them as they go through the rapid healing phase. So we focus on cellular repair as well as immune system repair. And that's something that not a lot of doctors do because we invest a lot of time with our clients, not only teaching them, but as well as providing the support and guidance that they need to make it work for their specific case. So before we get into the presentation, I want to share my slides with you and to tell you just quickly more about who we are and what we do. So let me just share this screen. So what feeds cancer cells? That's gonna be the topic for today. But quickly, my sister and I, we are award-winning peer-reviewed published immunology scientist. My first award I received, I believe that was in 2013. And we also have 15 years of experience at this point in disease reversal. And like I said, we've helped hundreds of people become symptom-free. We've been published in several magazines. We've also been featured on a documentary series called Legacy Makers to talk about how we have revolutionized healing for people. And these are some of our client results. And we had client like Crystal who worked with us. This was, I believe we worked with her back in 2019, and she worked with us for only 6 weeks. She dealt with multiple autoimmune diseases, including Hashimoto's and fibromyalgia. And the reason why I know that, and I even remember that, because we work with each person directly, so we get to know our clients really well. And she had asthma, she had nerve pain, muscle tension, she had tingling weakness, and she no longer need to use her inhaler. We just within 6 weeks I was working together. She also said that she noticed huge change in all her symptoms, and this was actually from a 6 weeks program. And 14 months later, she was still thriving, but again, she's still doing well after all these years. She's not taking any medications aside from some vitamins. She was on thyroid medications, just everything got better. And then we had another client like Deborah. She's a nurse, she's a travel nurse. She was taking medications that were costing her $4,000 I think she said every month or every 2 weeks, that she no longer needed to take for her arthritis. She said that after over 10 years of searching for an answer, I'm finally getting my life back. She noticed significant improvement in her symptoms. It was just, this is just many other clients, not just her. And this is a client, Diana, that we worked with. She was bedridden from arthritis. She had a lot of different health issues as well. Her hair fell out, it started growing back thicker and healthier. She actually said that our program was the best thing she could have ever done for her health. She spent $30,000 before coming to us for help, and she saw 14 different doctors. And understand that every person we worked with, they've tried all types of diet treatments, supplements, holistic treatments. There's never been, a client very rarely who hasn't tried anything before they came to us for help. So getting into the root of presentation is I would like to remove my video so we can focus on the slides. And one thing that I wanted to notice is a lot of people that follow us, they think they're doing everything right. They think they know everything. And something that they try, they get better, so they assume everything else that they're doing is helping them. So these assumptions that people make leads them to take wrong action, and it keeps them sick. So one thing that you have to understand that cancer thrives on more than just sugar, because people think that sugar is what feeds my cancer cells, but that's not the truth. And again, I'm a peer-reviewed published immunology scientist. I've published dozens of papers on cancer, and as well as I worked in the research field for 15 years now. And for somebody who has cancer, things like, pumpkin seeds, tofu, chickpeas are super healthy. But if you're already dealing with cancer, then you have to understand that those foods are not going to help you. And what gives you energy and gives you strength also gives energy to cancer cells and gives it strength as well and makes it grow. So people think it's just cancer just thrives on sugar or glucose or carbs. So you're avoiding donuts and pizza, but there's other things that are also cancer feeds on as well. So it may even come as a shock to you because cancer also thrives on protein and anything that makes your muscle grow. And you know the bodybuilding stuff like whey protein, different type of high protein foods also contain this specific amino acid listed on the slide that are designed to grow cancer cells as well. So sugar gives you energy, but the amino acids make things grow, including cancer cells. It makes cancer cells grow. And a lot of people, think they doing something really healthy for them. They taking, beet powder that gives people energy at the gym, but it also has so much sugar. It's even if it's natural sugar. And it still feeds cancer cells. And the reason is it's high nitrates, which convert to nitric oxide in the body, which is a vasodilator, and that improves your athletic performance. And if you're young or healthy, nitric oxide and beets can be very healthy for you. But if you have cancer already growing inside of you, it makes it grow really crazy as well because there's blood vessels that grow around cancer cells. So if you already have cancer, we have to make specific changes to your nutrition to not only stop feeding cancer cells, but also help improve your immune system. So the recovery program and approach is completely different for somebody who is trying to kill from a specific autoimmune disease or somebody who already has cancer growth happening. So nitric oxide is also made from amino acid arginine. So foods high in arginine can promote growth and angiogenesis, which is a blood supply. And arginine foods are really high in nuts and seeds, like peanuts, cashew, sunflower, and pumpkin seeds. And even so, chicken and turkey is high in nitrates as well. And nitrates increase nitric oxide. So that means protein powders are also high in arginine. And that's one thing to be aware of, right? And another amino acid to be aware of is choline, which promotes spread of inflammation and spread of cancer cells as well. And choline is very high in eggs, especially egg yolk. And it's really high in this amino acid. And 2011 Harvard study found that people who only consumed 2 eggs a week had 81% higher risk of dying of prostate compared to if you were only eating, half an egg a week. Again, they are rocket fuel for unwanted guests like cancer cells. And you already know that red meat is a major source of choline, including organ meat and bones are extremely high in that as well. And then we have to look at other amino acids too, like glutamine is a main fuel for lung, breast, and colorectal cancers. And it's actually even stronger fuel for cancer cells than sugar or glucose. So sugar can give people energy, but glutamine is the biggest fuel source of amino acid, which make things grow again. It makes cancer cells grow. Some types of lung cancer can survive without glucose. And if you have no sugar at all in your diet and you're dealing with lung cancer, remember that glutamine can also feed it as well. So this is just the main type of amino acids that feed cancer growth, and other foods that are really high in glutamine is You already know it's gonna be red meat. And why do so many people say that they feel better on, doing a carnivore diet? Because they stopped eating pizza and they stopped drinking beer and eating donuts. That's really the reason. But all the other things that they're eating, such as red meat or even chicken or bone broth, especially high in glutamine, is the main fuel for cancer cells. And especially like whey protein powders, that's way high in glutamine, and anything that's processed like that is going to be fueling your inflammation. So these are exactly the foods that bodybuilders eat, and it makes your body grow and also makes everything else grow. And as people get older, they get sicker and they also accumulate more toxins over time, which is one of the things we help our clients eliminate. So foods that accelerate cancer growth, you see this really protein-rich foods, especially processed foods like protein powders, healthy but risky depending on your situation. Even healthy things like nuts and seeds can accelerate cancer growth. That's why everybody can have a completely different recovery plan. And as you know, insulin growth factor Insulin growth factor is it's found in eggs and dairy products. It's a dairy doesn't matter what kind of dairy it is. It doesn't matter whether it's skim milk, low fat, or raw. They all have this powerful hormone from a 2,000 pound animal. And all these concentrated foods like cheese and any type of cheese is it's concentrated dairy, which is concentrated insulin growth factor. And even Greek yogurt stimulates insulin growth factor and it promotes cancer growth. So that's another thing to watch out for when you're trying to not only prevent cancer growth, but also if you're already dealing with cancer. And we talked about protein powders because they're highly processed. Anything that's going to be highly processed is inflammatory, but if it has whey, it also very high in insulin growth factor. It stimulates cancer growth as well. And even things that people think are natural for you, like fruit juices, is 100%, they think it's 100% natural, but it's highly concentrated sugar because the fiber has been taken out. They can also spike your insulin growth factor production more compared to eating whole fruit instead of sugar. Okay, so top cancer feeding foods to eliminate. This is what we see on this slide. And these are just some examples, but in our client classes, we go into the science behind this. We provide not only peer-reviewed published studies, but also provide tons of education for our clients so they know not only what they have to eliminate, but what they have to eat to heal their body based on their situation. Okay? So some of the things that you can consider eating is there's low glutamine vegetables. So going back to the slide, the glutamine vegetables that would include zucchinis, mushrooms, many other foods as well, healthy fats like avocados. Some people will come to us have issues with histamine. We tell them exactly what they can eat instead of that. And there's some anti-inflammatory things they can eat like matcha green tea, turmeric, ginger, especially it's really anti-inflammatory as well. Turmeric is really strong, it kills stuff, and lots of ginger and everything. That's what we also recommend for some of our clients. Definitely no eggs across the board. Eggs accelerate cancer like crazy because of the high choline. That's a lot of people don't understand that, and they think they need it for their diet, but it could be making things worse down the road in the long term. And again, if you're somebody who's healthy, you can tolerate some of the things, but what we do, we help people reverse diseases. So when they come to us for help, they are already having health issues that they're struggling with. And some other things that they can eat is a powerful antioxidants. We tell them which foods contain the most antioxidants and anti-inflammatory levels of like sulfur amino acid. It actually brings oxygen to your cells, and cancer cells cannot survive in oxygen. So some of the things that I wanted to share with you that's really important to understand is that if you take away sugar, it will still use other amino acids like arginine and glutamine and choline and some types of cancer like brain or prostate and triple negative breast cancer can adapt. And they use ketones and fat through fatty acid oxidation. Some people who say that keto diet starves it, all they are doing or referring to is some type of cancers, but not all types of cancers. So if you start feeling better, don't really get cocky and think that you healed and jump right back into old ways that got you sick. So that's why people who come to us for help, they're really open to learn new information and make changes that they thought they were good for them, but they were not aware of as well. And that's really important thing to remember. Another thing I wanted to share with you, this is what you absolutely must avoid if you are somebody who's dealing with cancer. Avoid any type of processed foods. You already know sweet fruits and juices that people think are healthy for them. Dairy products, of course, all types of eggs and red meat. And this is just some examples. And another really powerful tool that we help people figure out is what kind of basic supplements that they can take to help the immune system fight cancer cells, but as well as how they can optimize their current diet. So if you're somebody who is eating really healthy, but you either see a plateau in symptoms, that's what a lot of people experience, they're getting better and then they plateau, or you see increase in inflammation, it means your body has adapted. It means whatever you were doing no longer working for you, and you need a different plan as well as a different way to execute it. So this is the class on cancer. We educated, some things that you think are healthy actually feeding cancer cells. So your cancer cells not only feed on sugar, but they also feed on amino acids. So we tell you exactly how to get your protein, how to get your carbs and fat the healthy way, and based on the specific disease or symptoms you're still dealing with. So that's why not everybody who works with us follows exactly the same program. There's different variations of our program, and we assigned instructions accordingly. But then also when our clients are doing our program, which cannot be done without a supervision, we guide them through it and make through the changes based on how their body is responding. And then we have the classes and education. For that reason, we only work with a few clients at the same time, and we do not run a program every single month. So there's different openings available based on availability and the number of clients we're able to serve at the same time. So that everybody gets the help and support that they need and guidance that they need. So if you're struggling with your health and you need help, then you can reach out to us to fill out a form. And if we believe that we can help you, we're going to invite you to have a consultation to discuss your case further. But not everybody who has a consultation is invited into a program. So just because you had a consultation, that does not guarantee that we're going to be working together. And so I hope this education was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, then feel free to reach out.